In this lesson, we're going to start making our Space Invaders game in Scratch. The way our Space Invaders game works is we start it by hitting the green flag, and we use our arrow keys to control our spaceship. Space shoots a star, and when it collides with the starfish, it destroys it. If we miss out and a starfish hits our spaceship, we get an alert saying that the game is over. So in our Space Invaders game, there's four main things that we need. We have a background, which is the stars here, also known as our stage. We have a spaceship sprite, which the player controls. We have the star 2 sprite, which works as a bullet from the spaceship. And finally we have the starfish, which is our invader that falls from the sky and tries to get to the spaceship. So let's start by working on our IPO table, or our input process output. So I'm going to help you with the left arrow key input. So when we press the left arrow key, we need to think of some pseudocode that explains what happens to our spaceship. If we review our while loops, it normally has the following structure. So while condition, there'll be a code block, and then end the while condition. So in our case of the Space Invader, while I am pressing left, the spaceship is moving left, and while I'm pressing right, the spaceship moves right. So the process for that would be simply while left key is pressed, so that's a condition, the left key is pressed. The code block be along the lines of move spaceship left. And then we end the while block with an end statement. So the output of that would be then the spaceship moves left. So go ahead and complete the rest of this IPO table for what happens when the right arrow key is pressed, when a bullet hits the invader, and also when an invader hits the spaceship. So now we're going to open up Scratch and actually start making the game. When you first load up Scratch, this is the screen that you'll be presented with. We have a blank backdrop. We've got a sprite here of the cat. We have our scripts available up here, our costumes for our sprites on this tab, and any sounds we might have under here. So the first thing we want to do is add a backdrop to our stage. To do that, we just click on Choose Backdrop from Library. Now the backdrop we need in this case is called Stars. So we're going to scroll down until we find our Stars backdrop and click OK to load that into our Scratch game. Next thing we need to do is sort out our sprites. We don't need the cat sprite, so we can click on him, right click and choose Delete. And now we want to add our sprites that we're going to use. So over here beside New Sprite, there's a button here that says Choose Sprite from Library. So we go ahead and click on that, and the three sprites we need to add is the spaceship sprite, a star 2 sprite, and a starfish sprite. These all start with S, and as you'll notice, these sprites are in alphabetical order. So if I scroll down to the S section, there we go, there's my spaceship. I'll click on him, OK, to add him into my sprite section. Choose New Sprite. Again, down to my S section, we want to choose star 2 for our bullet. Click OK. And our last sprite is the starfish. Okay, so now I've got the game all set up. Everything is there that I need to use, and I'm ready to start coding. But before we do that, this might be a good time to actually save the game. So if something happened, I didn't have to re-add these sprites. To save in Scratch, we just come up to the File menu and choose Save. Now we want to choose somewhere that we can remember where we've put our game. So a great idea for this would be in our Digital Technologies folder, where we're going to keep all our files for the subject. So I've created a folder called Scratch Games to save my games into, and I'm going to call this Space Invader Game. Go ahead and press save, and it's now saved.